Little bit of English countryside there. Kristin Chenoweth is with us this morning. Do you enjoy English countryside, British countryside?
Well, yeah.
Get out and about?
I mean, I grew up in the Bible Belt in the States. So when I was taking the train out here, I was looking out and I thought, this could be where I'm from. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Makes me feel right at home.
Looks good in the sunny day like today.
Yeah.
Pick the right day.
I do like the sun, I'm not going to lie.
We'll talk more to Kristin in a moment about the show she's doing this weekend.
But first, here's a last quick look at what's happening where you are. Now, we've just met her. She's an award-winning star of both stage and screen, with roles on Broadway and in hit TV shows like Glee and The West Wing.
But Kristin Chenoweth hasn't stopped there. She's even found time to release 3 records and write a book along the way.
This Saturday, she's back on stage in London. But before we find out more, let's hear a little about what audiences there have in store for them. Do you know, it's so funny. Ever since that song, ever since I knew you were coming on, I've had that song in my head for the last 2 days. Popular. But sorry, I'm ruining it for you.
I'm just going to tell everyone right now that she was singing on the break.
Yeah.
And I've got to watch my back.
No, you really
yes,
don't.
You're
that was
good.
a couple of lines. It wasn't anything more than that. Anyway, Kristin, thanks very much for coming in to see us. Tell us, you've got this show at the Royal Albert Hall coming up. Yeah. What are people going to be hearing and seeing? Because you've done so many different things, haven't you?
Yeah, you know, my training was in opera, and people know me for a lot of the Broadway stuff, but it'll be that. And it'll be country pop. It'll be some original things. And, you know, I've got to sing from Wicked or I'll be killed. So I'm definitely going to do that. And it's very eclectic, kind of like my voice. It does a lot of different things. And I also have 3 West End performers joining me for background vocals and some dancing. It's not just standing there in front of a piano, which is absolutely fine, by the way. But this is more of a full show. So I got to tell you, this has been... for any artist, Royal Albert Hall is a dream come true, but this really is for me. I walked up the other night, took a picture, and I just started bawling like a big baby, but I couldn't help it.
Really? You were crying?
Yeah, because it's history. You know, you guys got to remember, for us, Carnegie Hall is, and the Met is the Mecca, but here it's Royal Albert Hall. I've known about it since I was a little kid, and now I'm finally here.
Do you mind if I make a personal comment?
I wish you would.
You are absolutely tiny.
I am a little wee one.
And, you know, talking about the Royal Albert Hall and
yes.
filling that with a voice, and you talked
yes.
about, you know, a background in opera singing. I mean, you're a very small person with a very big voice, clearly.
It's like, what's the thing? Enigma, or is that the word?
Yes.
It's like, what? There's my voice. And good morning, everyone. Whether you wanted to be woke up that way or not, now you are.
Did you always have a big voice when you were growing up? Did that?
It's always interesting, don't you think, that when little people have big sounds, it's like, where does that come from? But yeah, I'm nervous because I really want to do well. I know who's come before me there. I want to sing good. So I'm going to get some sleep tonight.
And for you, your singing started out in church, didn't it, when you were a kid? Tell us about how you went from there to the heights of showbiz.
Isn't it funny to say I got my start in church, but I did, because think about where I'm from. But I also my original dream was to be a ballerina, but I'm lacking a couple things, as you can see. I don't have the longest legs in the world, so I didn't grow. I wanted so badly to be a ballerina, but that kind of forced me into concentrating on my voice. And then I got a degree in opera and went to Broadway, and the rest is history.
We were talking about the Emmys a moment ago.
Yeah.
You've got one tucked away somewhere.
Where is it now? It's on my piano in LA. It intimidates me, so I just keep it there and pretend it belongs to somebody else.
And remind us what that was for. What was that?
Pushing Daisies, which starred Anna Friel, you know, my UK girl, and I loved working with her. I miss her a lot. Hi, Anna, if you're watching, and Gracie, her little girl.
And of course, the Brits, we were discussing, you know, the Brits, a lot of nominations at the Emmys this year.
Yes, I'm really rooting for Game of Thrones, and I'm rooting for, of course, my boyfriend produces House of Cards, so I'm gonna root for that. But I really love Game of Thrones. I can't help it. I love it.
Do you get to see much of our shows here, British shows, or even British theatre? Do you go and see stuff when you're here?
I'm going to go see Matilda this week. I always see shows when I'm here. It's like my roots. I've got to, you know, and you guys, obviously, we know that you are it's all about the theater here, and that makes me happy because that's what my training is, and the respect that there is for it. So I wouldn't dream of coming here and not seeing theater.
I tell you, one show we could never have invented is Glee. That really could not be British, could it? It's so.
I would love to see a British version. Are you kidding? Starring her.
But it's sort of so over the top. We're used to it now, but I mean, when it first started, maybe even you.
Were you assaulted?
When it first came out, were you amazed that it could be that?
I knew it would either be a massive hit or a big bomb.
Yeah.
There was not going to be a gray area. And I thought, I don't know what it's done here, but for schools over in the U.S., it's made people want to be in Glee. When I was in school, it was like, oh, you're a nerd if you're in the choir. Now it's cool. So I'm really glad. But yeah, at first I was like, well, how's this going to go? And I'm playing a drunk has-been. Why did they think of me for that part?
Have you ever felt that about other shows you've been in where you've thought, oh, no, why did I sign up for this? It's going to be awful. And it's turned out all right.
You know what? A couple of times I'm like, how's it going to go? How's it going to go? I didn't know about Wicked. I was like, it's about the two witches. How's that going to be? I knew it'd either be a big hit or...
And that role that you played, the original Good Witch Glinda, was essentially created for you, wasn't it, with you in mind?
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. Can you believe that?
Have you ever done a...
When I was just 19. Just 19, people. Just kidding.
Have you ever done a role reversal where you've played the bad one?
Elphaba.
No, but I think that's a really interesting idea.
The green paint, though, looks hard to deal with.
I don't know how she did it. Dina would always do it with a spray, and I don't know how Carrie did it here, but
Like
there's always a green tint on their skin for like a week after.
It's a good look.
Thank you very much for coming to see us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good luck with the show as well.
Thank you very much.
Just a reminder, Kristin is performing at London's Royal Albert Hall this Saturday night, so that's tomorrow.